Hi everyone, it's Jill. Welcome to our Friday free-for-all. It is Friday, June 4th, and I'm happy to see everyone. Jessica provided me 3 questions to answer today. I'm very excited to answer them. What is the best book you have read in the last year? So I actually have 2. I don't know if cookbooks can count, but they're going to count for me because I don't care. One is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. If you don't know who Chris Voss is, you should search him. I took the class on hostage negotiation because it really does pertain to your everyday life and how you deal with people and how to get information. So Andrea bought this book for me. If you didn't take the master's class, you should. It's an amazing class to take, and I use it in marriage. It's been a joke. Andrea and I have joked about it, but I use it all the time. The next book. Okay, so Kelly Cadman, I hope you watched this video. Georgia, Hometown Cookbook. As I was struggling over what feels like a lifetime, my friend Kelly would reach out to me and send me nice messages, and I have a thank you note that I haven't sent to her yet. That's hilarious that I'm going to. And she sent me a cookbook, and in her cookbook, she sent to me, she took the time to do personal notations. And in this one, it says chicken quarters and goober sauce. And she actually wrote goobers or peanuts or something, acting like a jerk. And it just made me laugh hysterically. And so in a bunch of things, like where it says to use mushrooms, she'll just write yuck. Or oatmeal is a great binder for meatloaf, not instant. So she actually took the time to go through this cookbook and personalize it to me. And I have read, and by the way, she shared with me her biscuit recipe that I'm not going to share with you. But she made these hilarious notations throughout the book. I have no way of telling her, like, I can only say the words, how much I appreciate and value her friendship. And then in it, it's we'll be friends for life. It was such a great gift. For people who know me, I love cookbooks. I could read a cookbook all day long and say, oh, here's how we can make that better. Or, here's what we do. But it's hilarious. And her notes are ridiculous. And I am so appreciative to her for sending it to me at a time when I really needed it. The second question is, what is something that changed for you during COVID that you want to keep in your life post-pandemic? The ability to enjoy home life. For a lot of you who work in jobs where you traveled a lot, COVID made us all slow down. My brain doesn't work that way. I'm hyper in general. At first, when COVID hit, we still had a lot of work, calling schools, doing virtual observations, whatever it was, we were still doing that level of work. And when it hit January and we got after Christmas, when we came to the time after Christmas, I realized I took for granted just enjoying being home in my own house, maybe having an hour or two to read something like a cookbook or a hostage negotiation book. It struck me one day, and it was one of those moments of, oh wait, I have an hour, and I wasn't at a school and I wasn't in a hotel. I was just in my house on my couch, and I thought, I like this. And so COVID, the thing I want to keep in my life post-COVID, post-pandemic, is to take time to, when I'm home, to genuinely enjoy my home. I have always been grateful and thankful for everything I have. But over this past 18 months, I am just so grateful that I had this haven, a place that I love to just call home. And I don't think I ever really took the time to appreciate home as I have the last 18 months. But really in the last 5 or 6 months, probably because my husband got a job and has been out of the house, I really appreciate it. Just being able to sit on a couch and read a book or do something that I normally wouldn't do. So that's something I'm going to insist on when life gets back to normal. Who has been the biggest influence on your professional life and career? So I want to first say there have been two people. One is my dad. He always said, whatever you do in life, if you're a janitor, be the best janitor. If you're a doctor, be the best doctor. But whatever it is, learn it and become the best at it. And so he was always a person who just said, you can do anything you want once you put your mind to it. Just keep your mind on it and focused and do a good job. And I appreciated that. For my work career, it was a guy I worked with named Fran who happened to be around my dad's age. And I remember my dad joking that only I would have a work best friend who was his age. Fran was in charge of internal affairs for the state police and worked at the state inspector general's office with me. And we would often have these really deep conversations. We would go to lunch together, we would talk, and I learned a lot about who you should be as a person at work from him. And though my father taught me that, and my mom, it really is a conversation that I had with Fran about facts and evidence always outweigh hysterics and lies. And he taught me how to document. So I have emails that I have saved going back 20 years documenting real instances that happened in my charter school career. Funny ones, sad ones. I kept it. I've kept phone messages. So here's what he taught me. If you go into your job every day and you're telling the truth and you're doing the best job you can, you don't have problems. When people start pushing back or they don't like what you say, but evidence and facts support your argument, there's nothing people can do. So document, be honest, don't have an ulterior motive against anyone to do anything, don't dislike people, let facts and data speak for themselves because they always will. And he also said, by speaking the truth, you will always get people who don't like you. People will say you're a bitch. In his case, he was an asshole. He was a bastard. And we used to talk about it. And he would say, people will say you're going to be a bitch. But if you hold to the truth, policies, procedures, doing the right thing, the truth is your greatest weapon. And so I would like to think that in all my years of work, since the time I met him, that voice in my head of people don't like it, but I'm doing what's right, that matters. And having somebody be an adult, oh, hi, Snoopy, having somebody just look at me at work and say, hey, it's going to be an unpopular decision. It's going to be an unpopular thing you said. Be ready to deal with the consequences of that. He prepared me for that. And there is nothing that I do or say that I don't have evidence for. And I met him, 30 years ago. So the reality, maybe not 30, like 26. And he passed away recently. And it was heartbreaking for a lot of reasons. But when we would sit down and we would talk about his role handling internal affairs for a state police department, he wasn't a well-liked guy, and he wasn't well-liked by cops. And this is a man who said to me, you're not here to be liked. You're here to do a job. Do your job. Do it well. Tell the truth. Have facts. Have evidence. And the person who does that is always the winner. So with that said, those are my 3 questions. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you soon.